Hi, my name is Summer Rhodes, and I've chosen to do my project on antibiotic susceptibility. The reason that I chose antibiotic susceptibility is because I've worked as a caregiver for geriatric patients for several years, and it's something that I've definitely had to deal with before. So each year in the United States, at least 2 million people become infected with bacteria that are resistant to antibiotics. And at least 23,000 of those people die each year as a direct result of these. Antibiotic resistance is caused mainly by two things, and those are one, the overuse of antibiotics. Using antibiotics for any type of sickness or illness that you have, when maybe there's some other type of medicines that could help, or you could probably just let it run its course itself. And then two, being prescribed an antibiotic and not finishing it the way that it was prescribed to you, only taking a certain amount until you feel better a little bit, and then just decide to discontinue and not continue taking the rest of it. Both of those greatly increase the risks and the likelihood that bacteria will alter over time, and it increases the chances of that bacteria becoming resistant to that specific type of antibiotic. The way that we can test bacteria and its resistance is through antibiotic sensitivity testing. There are several ways that can be performed, and the most common, due to its convenience and cost efficiency, is the disc diffusion method. This method uses discs containing antibiotic that are placed on an agar plate that has previously been swapped with bacteria, and that plate is left to incubate. And once you are finished incubating, you're able to see the growth that happens with the antibiotic. So not only does that show us how antibiotic is powerful and can control bacteria and destroy bacteria, but also in the case that there has been resistance built up, it can show you how ineffective an antibiotic can be to a bacteria that's built up immunity to it. So something I didn't know, but it's definitely interesting, is that there are 10 times more bacterial cells on your body than your body actually has human cells. Many of those bacteria are harmless, or some are even beneficial, and they help with digestion or immunity. But there are some cells that are harmful or infectious that can cause something as a minor cold or something as massive as a global epidemic. Antibiotics, are the powerful medicines that we have and that we use to fight these bacterial infections. They're made by synthesized chemicals or naturally from mold, and they kill or neutralize bacteria by interrupting the cell wall synthesis. And when they do that, they're not harming any human cells at all. The use of antibiotics up to the 20th century have made many dangerous diseases or infections now treatable. Infections and diseases that people would die from all the time, way back when. That's not the case anymore because of these strong antibiotics. But today our antibiotics have become less effective, and not because of their lack of strength, but because of the bacteria they stand against. These bacteria have went through mutations after being treated by antibiotics too many times. And most of the mutations are harmless, but some of the mutated bacteria end up getting a survival mutation, which allows not only that bacteria to thrive, but also to multiply and, mutate other bacteria as well. It gets to the point where these bacteria are so strongly mutated that they feel no effects from these antibiotics at all. So it doesn't affect them or hurt them at all. So what is it that we can do to stay ahead of these mutated bacteria? In my opinion, making, an antibiotic a very last line of defense, when you're sick or something like that. Anytime you go to the doctor, not just immediately like, hey, I'm sick, give me an antibiotic. I know this will make me better. Because, what happens in that case is, you're taking all this medicine, you're taking all this antibiotics for all these little colds, these little infections, stuff that your body, can fight off. And then when you get sick, very, ill or sick, something you need a powerful drug, you take that antibiotic and it doesn't work at all. And it's a struggle, it really is. And I'm not saying, wait until you're on your deathbed. Definitely that's not what I'm saying at all. But an antibiotic is not something to reach for every time you get a sniffle on your nose. So that's pretty much what I have for antibiotic resistance. Thank you.